Hey guys, it's Cynthia. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming the long-awaited Accutane conclusion type of video, just summing up my experience on Accutane for the last 5 months. Almost 5 months. 5 months? Oh god, I should really know this. But yeah, so for those of you guys who are just tuning in, I was on Accutane since mid-April, and I just finished about 2 weeks ago, so I've been off since then. And in this video I'm not wearing any face makeup, just to keep it real so you guys can also see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I was on 40 milligrams a day every day for the last 5 months, and I never missed a day either. And then I also just want to reiterate before I start that Accutane is a very serious drug for those who have really severe acne, which I did, and it's not just kind of like, oh, I have a few pimples, let me go get on Accutane and solve all my problems. Like, it's very much like last resort type of thing, and you can only get it through dermatologists and like consultation, etc. So I'll just go ahead and insert a clip of my skin in natural lighting with no makeup on so you can see a little bit better, and I'll also go ahead and put in a picture with some of the progress in the last few months. I'll try and fit everything in there. But as you can see, big difference, big improvements. I was in a really bad place when I started, and I can go ahead and say I'm very satisfied with where I am right now, and I can only see it getting better from here. While I was on Accutane, I have mentioned my skin surprisingly did not get super dry. I know that's something that happens to a lot of people. I had pretty oily skin to begin with, and at most it just, like, the oil was reduced a tiny bit because I was still looking very like glowy all the time, and the only area that I really had dryness around was just like my lips, like especially here, which I've mentioned in some of my other videos, and then occasionally on the back of my hands actually I would get some dry patches, but that was very rare, and this only happened maybe like 2 times over the span of like the 5 months, and with a lot of like moisturization I was able to like get rid of that. So yeah, I think I was really lucky to not suffer from a lot of side effects. Honestly, like, I didn't get any dry eyes, joint pain, muscle pain. I didn't get any of that. I think at most it was like, again, the dryness around my lips, and then sometimes the dryness actually kind of happened around my nose as well, as in like I would get nosebleeds here and there. I think throughout the 5 months I got nosebleeds at least like, I got like maybe like 5 or 6 of them, and that was only when like, oh, I accidentally hit my nose or something. I don't know who accidentally hits their nose, but anyway, if my nose ever bumped into something, or like I was rubbing a little too hard and then it was really sensitive, so then sometimes I would just like, oh, casually start like gushing blood, but it's okay. I think that is infinitely better than having like all the acne pain and everything. So also real quick, I wasn't really sure how to go about with this video, so I watched some other people's Accutane videos, just kind of summing up their experience, and some girls did like Q&As, but the thing is, I didn't think I would get like enough questions all at once to like kind of compile and answer, so I'm just kind of going off of her questions, which I think were very comprehensive and able to cover a lot of ground. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share my whole experience through her questions, and I hope that's okay. Okay, so am I happy with my results? Absolutely. It's to the point where I can't even really remember what it was like when I had really bad acne. All I remember was that it was just extremely painful times, like physically, emotionally, everything, and then it was just like a huge inconvenience at the time, and I'm someone who's had acne for a long time, just off and on, and I was just ready for it to be gone, like for good, because I was going through a lot in my life. I was like, you know, like I said, I was moving somewhere new for the summer for work, and then I was coming here and I was meeting some new people, and I didn't want it to be like a hindrance on just like my interactions and everything. And going into it, it was very much just like hoping for the best but expecting the worst, just because yeah, I've tried just about everything prior to going to Accutane. At the start I actually wasn't too keen on it, because I was like, no, I'm sure there's something, but honestly I tried everything and I needed just to be done with it. I didn't want to be fighting with my acne and my skin for like the rest of my life, or however long my acne would have stuck around, because it didn't look like it was going away anytime soon. And nowadays, and also for the last like 2 months as well, like I don't really get active acne at all. At most I just would get like a few whiteheads, like the really tiny ones here and there, that would be gone like overnight, and especially with the help of those pimple stickers I would talk about. And now that I've been off of it, same thing applies. Like, don't really get active breakouts anymore. At most it's just like a few tiny bumps that I just try and like kill immediately with some spot treatment, and just like drinking a lot of water and trying to eat more vegetables, which has actually been really hard here in Hong Kong. Surprisingly, I've been really struggling to find vegetables like incorporated into my foods, especially like when I go out to eat and stuff, just because I don't really have a very proper kitchen here. But yeah, I've been trying my best to eat a lot of vegetables and drink a lot of water just to keep my skin doing well, because my skin is very sensitive and reactive to the foods I eat, especially like fried foods, chocolate, baked foods. Pretty much anything delicious will trigger my skin, or at least I used to in the past, and I don't want to accidentally do that, especially now that I'm done with Accutane. I don't have that kind of reassurance. I think sorry, it's so loud, I don't know what to do. And yeah, so speaking of that kind of like reassurance, basically when I was on Accutane, I guess that's probably like one of the only things I do miss about being on Accutane, is that like kind of put a lot of faith and trust into the pills, that like, hey, by taking this it'll kill whatever, like I don't need to worry about my acne, I know this will take care of it. Whereas now, like now that I'm off of it, sometimes I feel like I'm almost a little bit paranoid, where I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like is that a bump? It's gonna erupt, and then my whole face is gonna erupt back into like cystic acne all over again. Obviously so far that has not happened, but yeah, so it's just kind of having that reassurance while you're on the pill that like it's gonna take care of everything for your skin, and I don't have that anymore. So I'm just trying to be really diligent with what I'm eating, and just exercising, and just drinking a lot of water, and just taking care of my skin overall. And for me, the pros of going on Accutane definitely outweighed the cons. Like I mentioned earlier, originally when I was about to start Accutane, I actually really didn't want to. I wanted to put this off for as long as I could, and I did. I had already been recommended for Accutane a few times in the past few years already, but I was like, no, I'm not ready for this. Like, this is too extreme. There's no way. But around April, I'd already reached a point where my skin was just crazy, and there's like nothing I could do, and this honestly did seem like the only like feasible way to get rid of my acne, and I'm really grateful that I did go on it. I was able to see improvement in results around the start of the second month. For me, I did unfortunately have a purging period, and that first month it did very steadily get worse and worse, and to the point where I was like, oh my god, it's never going to get better, it's just going to continue getting worse and worse. But here we are today. So no, it does get better. I think it just varies from person to person, and for me, like I said, that ended up being around the 2-month mark. And the way it worked for me was that like Accutane initially would get rid of like all the breakouts I had, so I wouldn't have active breakouts anymore, but because I had so much acne in the past, I had a lot of scarring and hyperpigmentation, but that was taken care of afterwards. And the way it kind of works to me is that it's almost kind of like the blur tool, or like the retouching tool that you do when you're like editing photos or whatever. It just kind of like literally just blurs it all out a little bit, so your skin will be smoothed out, or at least so my skin was just kind of smoothed out over time, but the redness was still there because of the hyperpigmentation, just kind of more blurred out and in like a smoother looking way, and then over time it's just gotten lighter. But redness is also something that happens to a lot of people when you're on Accutane, and definitely for myself as well. But as like time goes on and I've been off of Accutane, I have noticed that I've been getting less and less red, which has been really good. And I mentioned scarring and hyperpigmentation. It's not too bad on me. I don't really wear face makeup anymore. I'm comfortable enough going out without it, partially because it's hot as balls out here and there's no point putting on makeup because you're just going to sweat off, but also because I don't think it's like too bad, and I do plan on doing like micro needling, just kind of like the at-home stuff, and I will be making a video on that later on, along with the help of some like vitamin C products to kind of lighten up and fade the scars, so tune in for that. And I do just want to mention that timing is pretty important with Accutane on a lot of different levels. Like for me, I knew it was definitely time to just go on Accutane because there's so much happening in my life coming up, and I just again didn't want it to take away from my experiences. But also in terms of seasons, a lot of people recommend actually not doing it during the summertime because Accutane makes your skin super sensitive to the sunlight, and you can honestly get like fried. Okay, so in that sense it's bad timing for me because I did it all throughout summer and into September, so still pretty much summer where I was, but yeah, I was in some really hot sunny climates. But that being said, I did put on a lot of sunscreen every day, and I was pretty diligent about just like covering up and like not just baking and stuff, so I think that wasn't too much of a problem for me, but just keep that in mind. That being said, my friend who went on Accutane, she did it in the winter, so it was also just really dry, so I think her dryness was accentuated. So now that I think about it, I guess it really isn't a good time because there's never a really good time for acne, but take that into consideration when you're deciding when to go on it, I guess. And I guess just like for general reflection on acne and Accutane and everything, I honestly am not someone who has a lot of like self-confidence to begin with, in my personal opinion. So having all the acne hit me all at once just really brought me down a lot more. It made me even less inclined to want to talk to people, less inclined to do anything. Like I stopped going to the gym because I didn't want to go barefaced and have everyone see me, but at the same time I didn't want to wear full face and just clog my pores and feel like I'm doing more harm than good. And also all the time that I put into like taking care of my skin in the past, just like, I don't know, like dealing with all the pimples and everything, the masks and whatnot, like it was super time consuming, and it was always time that I felt like I could have been putting towards something more useful or productive, and I was just really sick of feeling like I'm just wasting time on my skin and there's no improvement. So in that sense, I think in that sense Accutane has been extremely helpful in helping me be able to like live a fuller life almost. That sounds way too dramatic, but honestly it's given me more time to focus on things that I care about, that are more important to me, and just not have to constantly worry about how something's going to affect my skin or new pimples and just the pain. And I also do feel like for the longest time I did kind of let my skin and my acne define me, even though I'd be like, no, that's not it, we are more than that, I'm more than that. But when you have random people calling you out for your acne and you don't even know them, and just being able to see, oh, there are like 10 new pimples here today, great, and just all this stuff was very much in your face, on your face, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, it was really hard, and I feel like now that I no longer have that, again, it's just being able to like redirect my focus onto more important things and just not always having that in like the back of my mind as well. And I think it's also just a good time to give out a gentle reminder to just be sensitive and kind towards everyone, but especially those who have acne as well, just because honestly, unless you've had really bad acne, I don't think you really understand just what kind of like mental toll it could take on you, amongst other things, and it's just really hard. And again, we should be nice to everyone, but just remember, like, words hurt, even if they're not intentional, and just in general, just be mindful of that. And moving forward, one thing I'm actually really looking forward to is being able to do more skincare. Honestly, I've always been a huge fan of skincare and makeup and beauty in general, but I feel like for the longest time, for the last few years, any kind of skincare I did was very much targeted towards preventing acne, treating acne, just everything was just acne. Everything was just like super acne focused, and it's like I couldn't even really see like real improvements with my skin just because, oh, there's just too much acne in the first place. But I feel like now I'm in a good position where I'm able to like look into the skincare things that I'm interested in and try things out for myself, obviously being careful, of course, because don't want to trigger anything. But yeah, that's something I'm super excited about, and like I said, I'm going to be starting with microneedling soon, and then also just like some vitamin C products just to try and lighten everything up. So still a little bit acne focused, but we will be moving forward from that, and then just working on generally improving my skin texture. But I feel like right now it's obviously better than it has been in a long time. So I know that was kind of a little bit jumbled, so sorry about that. There's just so much I want to say about acne and just everything as a whole, but it's a lot to cover in one short video, so feel free to leave any questions you have for me left down below, and I will do my best to reply in the comments. But I also do want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been following me along for the last few months, from when I had my like really bad breakout again, and then just starting on Accutane and just kind of walking through how it's been for the last few months. I honestly don't think I could have done it without your support. Everyone has been super kind to me always, and I'm always just so grateful for that. Just reading through the comments, very positive environment that I didn't think I would be able to have on my channel, but I'm super appreciative of that. And for any of you who's still suffering with acne, stay strong, you can do it, it will go away. You saw my before and after pictures, it is possible. But yeah, don't give up on that. And so also with my channel, obviously I still do plan on including skincare related things into my upcoming videos. However, obviously not everything's going to be focused on acne anymore, just because like I said, I kind of want to move move beyond that. I am not defined by my acne, but I hope that even so, for everyone who's joined along and subscribed to me over the last year or so, I hope you guys will still stick around for my other videos. Leave requests down below. I will do my best, but I just hope everyone still stays with me and support me. But yeah, so hopefully I covered everything. More skincare videos ahead, but also other videos as well. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!